Sorry to cut that song short, but CJ, are you there right now?
Yes, I am. How are you?
How are you, my man?
Doing good. I'm chilling outside North Hollywood in a partially cloudy day, sitting outside the Pit Fire Grill, one of my hot spots here.
Now, tell me, what's going on with the back house? Are you doing construction with are you redoing that, or are you doing a different studio?
No, it is the back house. We're expanding it. We doubled the size of it, and just got out of a meeting, a yelling match with Michael and the contractor that's doing the job for our last payment. That was not very enjoyable.
All right, so tell me about you guys actually put up a new website that kind of got you in a little trouble there for a second there, but can you tell us what's gonna be on this website when it comes up?
Well, the purpose of the website is to promote everything that happens at the back house. Michael and I, as a production team, as writers, both in the industry, that on projects that are for either Nickelodeon or Disney or other artists that we do. We have a bunch of adult contemporary acts we're working with on different things. So just to promote the whole inner workings of the back house. Now, of course, one of the projects at the back house is Drake Bell. So we had some music on the website that while our developer was putting together the website to pitch to us, we hadn't even agreed that it was the look or anything of the website. Somehow, there was a leak, and that caused some little problems with getting Drake's music out there in the world before it was ready. But that's the purpose of the website. Basically, what we're going to do is have clients be able to log in and listen to our music so we can, further our careers. And also fans. So we're going to have a fan page. I'm going to do a blog. Michael probably won't do blogs because he doesn't like to do those kind of things, but I'll sit there and blog for him or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be fun, though.
So, speaking of songwriting, one of the questions that I got most from everybody is, will either you or Mike ever release albums or songs or anything like that? Because I know Mike releases his Christmas songs and, his whatever ones that are on the Nickelodeon type CDs. Are you guys actually ever going to put out an album or anything like that?
Well, I shouldn't say that we're going to put out albums, but the intent can put out, that we can put out because we own the license to. So that would be Get It Right.
What is your favorite song? Why?
Periscope. Because it means something to me, and it was written when I first originally wrote it. It was written for my wife as a little love song, and the connotation that people think it has is not actually the connotation. There's another secret story about it that only my wife and I know. And it's not what everybody thinks it is. So that's probably my favorite, and I like the way it turned out. And then, Drake liked it and wanted to do it. He loved it. He just absolutely begged me, so can I please change some stuff and put it on the album? I said, sure. So, we did. That's probably my favorite. And but there's so many songs that I've done that I haven't released yet that I like playing and singing. And so those will be coming out soon. I'm actually going to be demoing some of those out, and so we'll release those on the site.
Now, you are a music producer, and some of the questions that I got was, what does it take to become a music producer, like schooling-wise, all that type of stuff?
Well, first you have to be absolutely crazy, because you would not ever want to do this for a living if you knew what it was all about. Second, you have to have a patron, which is either your parents or your wife in my case, because you cannot survive doing it without a patron of some sort. You can start and try to do it, and it'll take a number of years and before you even get anything happening. So how are you going to pay for that? So as you're a music producer, you will also be a bartender, or you will be a carpenter, or you'll work at a fast food restaurant or something like that. That's the hard reality of it. I could go on for 7 or 8 more hours about the more reality about it. But in order to do it, if you really are determined that's what you want to do, the only thing you can do is understand that music is there as a tool, that the music that's been out and that's made money and that's out in the world is there as a tool for you to learn. Those are your books. Those are your studies. You can go to school, and sure you should, because you need to learn how to use the rigs, Pro Tools, Logic Audio. You even have to know how to use Final Cut. There's so many different things you have to know about as a music producer, and you need to know music. You need to first be studied in music you shouldn't be a music producer, in my opinion, unless you can play something or do something musically. Because how are people going to follow you if you can't justify what you're saying with backing it up with playing? But you have to listen to music, and all sorts of music, and you have to digest and see what they're doing. I mean, we do that all the time. That's what the whole industry is listening to what's successful and digesting it and regurgitating it and putting it back out again.
So, one of your last question, and it's something that someone wanted to know, is if you could go back in time or even now, what artist would you want to work with? Like the Beatles? Like, what if you could work with one band out of all time? Who would it be?
I'm not going to answer that the way you want me to answer it. Because, I mean, obviously the Beatles are it, and Beach Boys, these are huge influences, Jellyfish. I'd love to sit down and work with Elton John at some point. You really want the crazy answer, Julie Andrews. But I got to be honest with you. If I'm going to collaborate and do one thing with one person, and I only get one shot at that, and I had to pick out of everybody, I would pick in the future in Christina Aguilera.
Interesting choice.
And because I just think she's the best singer on the planet that's ever been, in my opinion. So that's who I would pick to work with.
All right, so let's go into who you actually are working with, and that's people from Nickelodeon, and that includes Miranda Cosgrove. Now, I'm following her on Twitter, and I find out that she is actually doing photo shoots for her album. Do you have something to do with the new album that she has coming out?
It's for Miranda Cosgrove?
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, no. The album may contain the theme song for iCarly, and if it does, then great. Then we had something to do with that. But we missed an opportunity to get onto that album. They wanted a song that we did, and it was for another Nickelodeon artist, and they fought hard for it for Miranda, but we just couldn't go backwards and change that. So it's going to be in an episode of Victoriousness for Victoria Justice. So we missed out on that opportunity. Dr. Luke finished 3 more songs with her during the time period that we were writing a song to get on her album, and we missed the opportunity. So that doesn't, we still have great songs out of that opportunity, but we just didn't get a place with Miranda. So just one of those unfortunate circumstances where our schedules were too busy to be able to work with Miranda, because I know Miranda, and I talked to her at a party that we just were at the other day where she was at with her mother, and they were upset that they didn't get to work with us on this album.
Now, another show that you're doing right now that you just mentioned is Victorious, and from what I've read about it, it's going to be a huge musical production because she, in fact, is actually at a school for the gifted in music and stuff like that. So, describe.
It's a cross between Glee and Fame, made for Nickelodeon, and it's Dan Schneider at his best. He is an amazing producer and for TV, and he's really got it nailed on Nickelodeon. And he's a comic genius, and so this whole show is one song after another song after another song, and we've been very fortunate to be doing all the music for the show thus far. There's songs that there's great artists. Everybody on the show is amazing. I mean, we've had them all in the studio. We've enjoyed their company. Avin, who is one of the he's the lead actor, I think, he plays the love interest sort of Victoria in the show. Leon also he plays like a tutor, kind of a peer role for the show. They're all tremendously talented. I mean, it just shocks me. There's got to be something in the milk nowadays, because all you guys that are younger than us are so much smarter and more talented than we were at that age. But I just, at any rate, yes, we've done 6 songs so far for the show. Every couple of episodes, the whole show is about a song, so we've been doing all the songs for that. And hopefully they'll show up on Victoria Justice's album, and we already know they're going to be on the soundtrack for Victorious.
Now were you filmed by camera crews while they were actually performing a lot of these songs?
Yeah, I try to stay out of the mix. They always ask Michael to appear because Michael's a good-looking, rock star-looking guy, and I'm used to be good-looking, gained too much weight and got married and don't care anymore. So I don't get to go on camera when they shoot. But They've been inside the studio at the back house shooting every single performance. They've shot all the singers singing the performances and then them hanging out in the studio. And as B-roll footage, for those of you who don't know what B-roll footage means, it's just extra footage that comes as bonus material, either on a DVD that they might put out about the show or that they will play on Nickelodeon in between scenes and on the websites and whatnot. And we're talking to the producers right now to see if we can get some of that on our actual website.